And with that, welcome to Halifax, Nova Scotia and the Scotia Bank Center for Halifax Hurricanes basketball. The Hurricanes taking on the Cape Breton Highlanders. With Matt Elliott, Vince Williams on hand. It's D&D Appreciation Day. It's the first D&D Appreciation Day for the Hurricanes and the military, the Canadian military that is. The champs return to their home court after capturing the third consecutive Atlantic Division championship last night, defeating the St. John Riptide 90-82. The Highlanders eliminated from the playoff picture, look to play spoiler this afternoon. Canes have an opportunity to get the number one seed in the NBLC and home court advantage throughout the playoffs if they can win the remaining games and get a little help in the Central Division match.
Yeah, so what's interesting about this is what I want to see is who Coach Leslie runs out, how he's going to run his sets with this one today. If he's going to give a lot of those time to those reserve players, that's going to tell us really how much that matters to them, whether or not they finish at the top of the league or if they're content to be finishing at the top of the conference, which they've already clinched. If that's the case, you'll probably see a lot of those reserve players getting a lot more time and keeping the starters' bodies fresh for the upcoming grueling playoffs.
So a fight for the tip there between Cordell Jonti and Ronaldo Dixon in the start of this D&D appreciation game. Day, the military in full force, all three major militaries being represented this afternoon, and especially in the booth as well. Matt Elliott, my partner, who is an officer in the Army.
Yes, sir.
A proud day for you, mister.
Yeah, as you know, I was contemplating whether to wear my uniform or not. As some of the guys you'll see in the stands are. I decided not to. Staying comfortable, I guess. But, yeah, it's a good day. There's a lot of military folks around. I know that on base that the advertisements were out and they were giving away tickets, and the team has been good where all you had to do was bring in your ID to get a free ticket. So that's a great partnership and good job with the Canes to appeal to really one of the biggest employers in Halifax, the Canadian Armed Forces.
Absolutely. Great crowd on hand here on a Sunday afternoon, a matinee. Tip one controlled by the Canes. And the three ball right off the bat. Antoine Mason. Mason was dynamite last night, closing out the Atlantic Division Championship. Had 30 points against the Riptide. And Mason's definitely got him. His name's got to be at the top of the list when it comes to MVP honors in this league this season.
I don't know how it can't be at least near the top and getting a lot of consideration the way he's played, especially the second half of the season. He's been absolutely unstoppable. But but far and away the best player on the best team in the conference, and what could end up being at least as far as the record goes, the best team in the league. And we'll see what happens in playoffs. But as you said, he's got to be in consideration.
Malik Story, knocks down the three, and we are tied up at 3 apiece. Malik can also fill the basket from beyond the arc, so he's one of the guys that the Hurricanes definitely have to run off the three-point line. Canes in their third possession here. Nice backdoor cut by Brown. Brown gets his second chance opportunity off the feed by Clint Scales. And that's a nice jumper off the glass by Chris Braswell. And it's tied up at 5 apiece. Clint Scales to White. Watson now. He'll put up for the jumper. That's short. Rebound by Beatty. So the Highlanders will go with Braswell. Beatty, and that's Braswell for 3. No good. Story, Massey, and the fifth will be Bigelow. Clint Scales for 3. Good. Clint Scales knocking down that 3 ball as Clint has definitely developed that 3 ball in the second half of the season. Struggled a little bit in the first half of the season, but he's definitely found his stride. And Massey banks that 3 off the glass, and we're tied right back up at 8. So both of these teams trading body blows here, Matt.
Yeah, and it's funny, we've seen that 2-man game between Billy and Klink and with usually Billy on the other end scoring. That time it was Billy kicking it out to Klink for the three.
And Massey gets right in, and he finishes at the rim, and that's the thing that Bruce Massey can do. He can score and fill it up, averaging 20 points a game on the season. Massey's been outstanding since being acquired by the Highlanders. Mason's jumper's no good from distance. Rebound by Beatty. Now Story crosses the timeline. He'll pull up. That jumper is in and out. Rebound by White. And the Hurricanes will come back the other way. 2-point lead for the Highlanders here, 10-8. Billy banks his first jumper off the window there, so Billy's 1 for 2. Did you hear him?
I heard him call glass. It's all good.
Okay, Billy gets the nod from you, and we're okay here in the booth. So it's all tied up at 10. As Billy's 1 for 2, and that's his first 2 points of the afternoon. Billy also averaging 19 points on the season, along with Antoine Mason, the 2 high scorers on the team. Clint Scales, another 3. That's back-to-back threes.
He's feeling it today.
As Bigelow decided to go under the screen, didn't fight over top, and Clint Scales was able to knock down that nice shot as he stepped into that one.
Yeah, it was a great shot. Real pretty looking from here. He's feeling it. See if he keeps putting them up.
Massey now.
I was going to say the good thing about Clint Scales is that his shot selection is usually pretty good. He doesn't take shots that he doesn't that he can't hit, or if he's too tightly defended, guys close out on him. He's a smart shooter. He gets good shot selection, which I think has been part of the reason that he's been so successful in the second half, as you say, really picked up that 3-point shooting game.
And that's a good defensive play there by the Hurricanes, forcing that shot clock violation. Clinkscales was able to slap the ball away from his defender, and essentially not giving them enough time to put one up. White now draws the double team, kicks it out to Mason. Mason kicks it to Clinkscales. Clinkscales looking for a screen from Brown, and a contact between Brown and Bigelow. And it looks like Bigelow will be called for the hold.
What's
He's
14?
not happy.
No.
Probably thought that maybe Brown was moving a little bit too much. He wasn't stationary on that screen. Nevertheless, it's Bigelow's first, team's first.
And that'll put 14 back on the clock. That was down to 1, so good outcome for the Canes there.
Clinkscales inside to Watson. Watson trying to take Story, gives it to Brown. Brown with the spin move, the banker off the window.
Geez, I think 3 guys were on Watson there.
That was a good finish by Brown, but an even better catch there, Matt, by Brown to receive that bullet pass by Watson.
Yeah, definitely.
Beatty, he'll put it up. That
Nice
jumper
shot.
is good. Tydron's a very smooth jump shooter from mid-range and beyond the arc, and if you play him for those distances, he can definitely slash and finish at the rim as well.
Oh, yeah, he's a good scorer, averaging 16 on the season. He's been around for a few years now in the league, and he's always been a good scorer. Ooh.
And right there, Billy decided to close out on Tydron. Tydron with the pump fake, and he'll go to the line, and it looks like he'll shoot 2 as he was on the line.
Coach Rob Spahn asking you, giving him 2, but it looked like he should have been, looked like he put that one up to me from beyond the arc just the same. He'll get 2.
And that's Billy's first, team's first. Tydron hits the first. 70% free throw shooter on the season. Highlanders trying to snap this 3-game losing skid between them and the Hurricanes. At one point throughout the season, halfway through the season, they were successful winning back-to-back contests versus the Hurricanes, but ever since those back-to-back victories, it's been all Hurricanes. Watson for 3. That's short. And that's rebound by Braswell.
It's been a tough stretch for the last little while now for the Highlanders, winning only 1 of their last 6 games. Halifax, on the opposite side of that, have won 5 of their last 6. So, get a struggling team against a hot team, but they're playing well so far.
They got nothing to lose, that's
right.
for sure. They're in here trying to play spoiler. As the Hurricanes have an opportunity, and that's Brown
Good
finishing
strong
at
move.
the rim. Brown's got 4 now. An opportunity to play spoiler here and not allow the Hurricanes to have that first overall in the NBLC and home court advantage throughout the playoffs. White now trying to back down Tydron here. Draws a double team, kicked it out. Clinkscale, shot clock under 10. Clink's gonna go one-on-one against Story. Clink with the freeze, spin move, kicks it out. 3-ball coming up for White, and White drains it. That was a beautiful half-court set there. Great patience by the 2 veterans in Clinkscales and White.
There's that 2-man game again. This time with White hitting the 3 as opposed to a dunk or an alley-oop.
Tydron's 3's too strong. He's able to cut Billy off at the rim though in transition. And the Hurricanes will go to work in the half court. White again, back-to-back triples. Billy is feeling it from distance, and that forces a timeout call by head coach Rob Spahn. He wants to talk it over as Billy's been the difference here in the latter part of this quarter.
Well, the 3-point shot's been the difference, really. If you look at the stats, Halifax is 5-9 right now. They've already hit 5 3-pointers, and we're only at, let me check my clock here, 4:57 of the first quarter. So, yeah, you got to think he's going to want to call timeout and put a little bit more defense out on that perimeter, especially when you got guys like Billy White, traditionally guys scores in the paint, dropping 2 straight 3s on you.
Yeah, and that will open up Billy's game.
Sure will.
With getting that inside the painted area, either off the dribble or catching it on the block. So Billy doing a good job of knocking down the 3-ball. He leads the way with 8 points. On the other side, Bruce Massey Jr. has got 5, along with Malik Story also with 5. And Ramal Brown with 6, and Clinkscales with 6 as well. Both teams shooting pretty good from the field. Hurricanes shooting 56%, and the Highlanders at 54. But it's been the 3-ball's been the difference, and both teams have been relatively shooting it well as well. I mean, if you look at the Highlanders, they're 2 for 4. That's good, for 50%. That's
Definitely
not bad. If you can hit half of those shots from distance, that gives you a chance in any game.
Definitely. Yeah, any team that shoots half, 50% from 3-point land as a team is going to be a successful team.
So timeout's over now, and some substitutions as Cordell Gentil checks in for the first time for the Highlanders. And for the Hurricanes, it'll be Zimmerman along with Mike Poole.
Cordell Gentil, no stranger to Halifax, played here for a few years. He's been in the league for quite some time. His 7th season in the league, which I believe is probably the longest tenured guy in the league, but I don't know that for sure.
And right off the bat, he makes an immediate impact as Gentil was able to put the putback away. And cut into this 6-0 run. So that's a good response coming out of the timeout for Rob Spahn and the Highlanders, breaking up that mini run there.
Nice defense by Tydron Beatty on Billy there.
White, the Poole. Poole can't hit the teardrop. Big load back the other way now. Massey Jr. drives to the rim, and he's fouled, and he'll shoot 2.
Ramal Brown, his first of the game. Correction? No, I'm right.
Team second.
His first.
As Massey Jr., an 81% free throw shooter on the season. He'll shoot 2 here. And Bruce drains the first. I think with this Highlanders team, I think what happened throughout this season, they were going well, and then one of their key players, Duke Mundy, was summoned to the G League. And you got to give credit. This is a league, a development league. If guys can get opportunities to play elsewhere and higher leagues to try to reach their dream and their goals of maybe playing one day in the association, then we're all for it. That's what it's all about. And right now, Duke Mundy is doing an outstanding job right now in the G League.
Good for him.
And that's been one of the spots that have been missing, his scoring and his ability to score and be one of the offensive threats and as well as defensively for Cape Breton, and that's what they have been missing and the reason why they pretty much missed the playoffs down the stretch here.
Yeah, and he was a great player, fun player to watch. So as a fan of the game, as a fan of the league, you're sad to see him go. But like you said, to go to the G League, you're the G League, you're one step from the show right there, right? So good for him.
Absolutely. You're one 10-day contract away, that's for
right.
sure.
That's right.
And it may happen sooner than you think if you play well. Zimmerman now to White. White can't finish at the rim. White gets his own rebound. White right back up, and it's too strong, and rebound by Story. 3-point lead for the Hurricanes. Just over 3 minutes remaining in the first. Tydron trying to back down White. That's knocked out of bounds. It will remain Highlanders' possession with 15 on the shot clock, and Ronaldo will check in now for Ramel Brown.
Tydron Beatty's doing a good job of playing physical defense on Billy without taking a lot of, well, I don't think he's taken a foul yet, but he's doing a good job. He's getting the hand up and altering the trajectory of Billy's shots, and you can see it down low. He usually doesn't miss that close.
Tydron misses another three. He's 0 for 3 from downtown, struggling a little bit from that distance. And a nice backdoor alley-oop between Mason and White. You usually see 1 or 2 of those a game.
Yep.
Especially for Billy White.
Yeah, he's usually on the receiving end.
Story now. No hold, shot clock's under 10. Massey Jr. one-on-one against Zimmerman. That's a tough shot forced by Zimmerman. Good defensive play there by Zimmerman. Not backing up and giving any space to Massey Jr. Massey Jr. tried to beat the shot clock there. Mason, right hand,
what
Mason
a take.
with the finish at the rim. Outstanding by Mason. When he gets a full head of steam in that painted area,
look out.
He's pretty tough to stop as he can finish with either hand.
He can finish in traffic.
Story now for 3. That's strong, and rebound by Mason. Mason looking to run now. Finds Brown in transition, and Brown was able to beat John T. up the floor. So Ronaldo running rim to rim, and that's a good looking left-handed finish there for Ronaldo, but an even better pass, as you mentioned, by Mason. Mason showing off his passing skills. And John T. can't get the reverse to go. White now. To Mason. Swings it to Zimmerman. Ronaldo, he'll put it up for 3. Ronaldo's shot's too strong. And that's rebound by
Call for the reach.
Massey Jr. Ronaldo will pick up his first personal. Reynolds will check in now for the first time for the Highlanders.
Canadian is Jamal Reynolds. This is rookie season out of Canisius College. And it looks like Ahmed Khan's going to check in for the, Ashton Khan checking in for the Halifax Hurricanes.
And Mason will go to the bench. 31-22, a minute to go here. Jean T with the left hand, and he's fouled by Ronaldo. So that's back-to-back personals on Ronaldo. He's got 2 now.
Watch this pass here. It's a pretty slick pass from Bigelow. Look at that. I think he went right between Zimmerman's legs. Shanti just not able to finish, but he did get fouled.
John T, a 75% free throw shooter on the season. He makes the first. Averaging 3 points a game since being acquired. And he makes the second. 57.2 seconds remaining. Khan crosses the timeline. Gives it to White. Dribble hand off to Poole. Poole now looking for a screen. Gives up his dribble. Gives it to Khan. Khan's wide open for 3. No good. Rebound by Bigelow. So good look from downtown for Khan. Some confusion on the defensive end for Cape Breton. They were able to dodge that bullet. Reynolds, left hand in tight, had to go up and over Ronaldo. Second chance coming up. Bigelow for 3. And that's strong, and rebound by Poole. So a second chance opportunity there, but a good defensive play in tight by Ronaldo, disrupting that shot by Reynolds.
Yep.
So the Hurricanes will hold for last shot here. Kahn hands it off to White. White's got to put it up. Zimmerman for three. That's partially deflected by Bigelow. So strong finish defensively for Cape Breton, but Hurricanes went on a little bit of mini run there, an individual run, basically broke this one open where they're able to have this lead after 12, as Billy White was impressive in the first 12 minutes.
Yeah, he's been good. And it's been, Halifax, they got a 7-point lead, so they're not running away with it, but they're very much in control of this game. But if you take a look, big difference here, Cape Breton Highlanders are 2 of 8 from three-point land, so they put up another 4 3-pointers since we last spoke about it unsuccessfully. So they're looking to that perimeter game. I don't know if that's going to be a key to victory for them, especially going to shoot like that. But, I mean, they've got a ton of guys that can score, so they're still very much in this game.
They definitely got a ton of guys that can fill it up, in particular from beyond the arc. You look at Beatty, he can shoot it. Story can definitely shoot it since coming over. Braswell's not a bad shooter as well. As Massey Jr., as we mentioned several times, he's just been pretty much unstoppable, averaging 20 points a game throughout the season. So some work to do for the Highlanders. On the other end, the Hurricanes continue to be consistent, though. With these guys kind of playing a game 4 hours away last evening, capturing the Atlantic Division, their third consecutive Atlantic Division championship last night in Harbor Station, defeating the Riptide 90-82. It was a long bus drive back that evening.
No doubt.
I had an opportunity to speak to the the assistant coach, Joe Wells, and he said those guys, the bus pulled in at 3 a.m. So the war of attrition may come into play in regards to the Hurricanes getting in that late, not getting a lot of rest and prepare for this matinee game.
Yep.
But on the flip side, the Highlanders have to make a 4-hour trip as well down the Trans-Canada Highway to get here to play this one as well. So
that's right.
Equally, both teams may be feeling it late in the third and fourth quarter.
Yep.
But we'll see.
I would, if I had to take a guess, I'd say Cape Breton is probably more likely to feel it, given that they're short 4 bodies, really. They've got a short bench right now. You're taking a look, Rick Bodiford, Rashad Wack, John Sillyboy, and Shane Osiande, all not playing today, all not healthy scratches, excuse me, but all scratches for today's game. So they're playing with a short bench for sure. So it's going to be interesting to see how that looks in the third and fourth quarter, as you said.
Yeah, Bodiford moving on as well, as he went over to Iraq to play in their professional top league. So Bodiford getting an opportunity to play on that level.
You say
yes,
Iraq?
I said Iraq.
Wow. I did not know they had a pro league there.
They have a pro league there. You mentioned it before when the first individual was able to, as Ronaldo able to finish at the rim. Dixon.
Good angle.
The first one to pretty much go over there from this league would have been Gabe Freeman. We checked it and we were thinking Iraq, and we double checked.
That's right.
It is actually Iraq. Most people were thinking Iran. No, it's Iraq.
I'll have to look that up at halftime, get a little bit more info on that league.
Left hand by John T. He drew the contact, and he'll go back to the free throw line where he was able to make the first 2. And Ronaldo's called for his 3rd personal foul, so some decision time coming up here for Mike Leslie.
Yep.
Whether to continue to go with his good reserve or try somebody else or go back to one of his starters, as Malik Story checks out and Bruce Massey Jr. checks back in. John T. It's another free throw.
Should be perfect on the day so far.
And Cordell makes his second, so he's 4 for 4, and he has 4 now. All of his points coming by way of the free throw line. Dribble hand off the Poole now. Poole looking for a screen. It's a partial screen there. It doesn't free him up. He's closely guarded by Beatty. White spin move on John T. Zimmerman kick out to Kahn. Kahn dribble drive left hand.
Nice
and that's
finish.
a very nice move and a great decision by Kahn.
Definitely.
Looked like he had the three. Good close though, and was able to blow by his defender and finish with the left hand. Massey Jr., that's too strong. Rebound by John T. Second chance opportunity here. Bigelow with the no-look pass and a good defensive play, getting a hand in the passing lane, but it looks like it was last touched by the Highlanders. Bigelow full disagreement, thinking that was the wrong decision called by the officials. This afternoon's officials, Peter Phipps, Matt Boyle, and the crew chief, Paul Hansen. 10:40 remaining in the second. Hurricanes by 9. It looks like Kyle Damaris is into the game for the first time for the Highlanders. And Watson checks back, and Watson underneath the rim and counted.
Nice finish. Good, strong finish by
He's just
Watson.
too strong underneath the rim, Tyrone Watson is. When he gets it that deep, and that's his game, he is.
You see the replay here, look at
detail.
that.
Look
Just
at
bodies up.
You
He's
can
just
just
too
see
strong.
the great detail and knowing that there's an opportunity for me to hit a layup, and this is my game. This is the game that I excel at. And I'm going to go to work on anybody.
Yep.
They're going to have to block my shot. If not, I'm going to finish, and he finishes the three-point play.
Yep.
So Watson with 3 points now, and that pushes the lead up to double digits. It's 11.
And I believe it was Tydron Beatty that got called on that foul. And they said he's been playing pretty good physical defense so far, and he played it again there, but Tyrone Watson's just too strong.
Massey Jr. fadeaway, and
Nice
that's
shot.
a good-looking shot by Bruce. Tough shot forced by the defense as the double came late. Didn't affect Bruce. He calmly knocks down the fadeaway jumper, getting away from the defense.
Yeah, it made it look easy.
Zimmerman, he'll put it up for 3. Zimmerman that's short and off the back of the backboard. Beatty now, back the other way. Massey Jr. for 3, and he drains it. Massey Jr. can shoot that.
Yep.
Can't allow Bruce to catch it in rhythm, and just like that, we're back to a 7-point game.
Yeah, Poole was trying to help out with the ball handler on defense and wasn't able to get over to Bruce Massey quick enough. And he pulled the trigger.
White now, going one-on-one against John T. Left hand.
Oh.
It's no good. Poole's putback's no good. And Beatty will race back the other way. Beatty, that's short. Rebound by White.
Keeps
Gets
it
it
alive.
to Kahn. Poole in transition. Kicked out to Zimmerman. White, step back. Watson, jumper.
Nice
Drains
shot.
it. And that's the shot that every team has seemed to be giving Tyrone Watson.
Yeah.
That
and he seems to
particular
be
jump
hitting it.
shot. And it looks like he's been working on it.
It does, yeah.
Struggled a little bit in the first 2 opportunities from that distance, but
He's got a bit of an unorthodox release on that shot, but hey, if it goes in, who cares? Just like Sean Marion, right?
absolutely. Watson's
wow.
got 5 now. Marius gets
He was
free, and he
all by
finishes with the
himself.
left hand.
And when he was there.
Damaris gets his first 2 of the afternoon. Kyle, product from Bishop's University by way of Montreal.
This is rookie year.
Didn't get a chance to see him in any of the previous games here, as miscommunication looked like Billy lost his footing.
Yeah, he tripped
Coming
over
off of
somebody.
that screen as he tried to roll back towards the rim. Turnover, and Billy will go to the bench, and Brown will check in now.
Rommel, throw down Brown.
Oh, you gave him a nickname.
I
Throw
did,
down,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, one of my faves.
7-point lead, 8 minutes remaining in the second. Braswell checking back in. Braswell to Reynolds, and that was a nice move and finish by Reynolds, as he had to be
Timeout
very
call.
athletic, but he made it happen. And a
Should've
timeout call by head coach Mike Leslie. At one point, it was an 11-point deficit. Now it's down to 5.
Yeah, and that's a result of Cape Breton being a little bit more aggressive. They got some reserves in there, and of course, Bruce Massey hitting some shots. So, yeah, it's just it. You can't let them run away with it. You got that lead. You want to hold on to it. They get too close. Figure how you right the ship.
A few other games around the National Basketball League of Canada. 2 other games to be exact. And let's take a look at the Uttertown scoreboard. The Uttertown scoreboard brought to you by the Chronicle Herald.
All right, so the Island Storm are hosting the St. John Riptide in Prince Edward Island today. Right now, the Riptide hold a lead of 24-21 with 11:37 left to go in the second quarter. The other game on the docket today in the Central Conference, the Windsor Express hosting the London Lightning. That game will start at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, the game that you're watching right now, Halifax Hurricanes hosting the Cape Breton Highlanders, have a lead of 40-35.
And the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by the Chronicle Herald. And a few other games remaining on the schedule for the Hurricanes. Very important games on the schedule for the Canes. After this afternoon's game, the Moncton Magic will come in Tuesday evening on a makeup, the game that was scheduled Thursday evening because of inclement weather.
Yep.
The Magic unable to travel to Halifax and take on the Canes, so it was rescheduled to Tuesday. And then the Island Storm will come in on the Thursday, and that'll be the last home game for the Hurricanes on the regular season, and they will finish up the schedule on the road on the 31st, where they'll take on the Cape Breton Highlanders at Center 200.
Busy week for Halifax.
So out of the timeout, Canes looking to respond here. Kahn, closely guarded. Kahn loses the handle, turns it over. Beatty back the other way now. Massey Jr. for three, and he drains another one. Bruce Massey Jr. is absolutely on fire right now as he has 14. He's 2 for 3. 17, excuse me. 3 for 4 for downtown as Massey Jr. is shooting 6 for 9 from the field. He leads all scorers. Poole for 3. That's no good.
Oh.
Beatty had the rebound. Knocked out of bounds by Zimmerman. As Brian Rouse checks in for the first time. And Kahn will go to the bench. 2-point game after it was 11-point game in this quarter. But some good shooting and decision-making by the Highlanders, along with some timely defense, have got them to a one-possession game. And that was a pretty good move by Braswell.
It was, yeah.
It's a good pump fake on Brown. Brown looked like he stood his ground. We might have to take a look at this.
Take a look, see if he was leaning forward. Well,
he was leaning in.
Leaning forward, you're going to get that called against you. If you're leaning in, you're straight up, you're good to go. But Coach Leslie didn't agree with it, regardless.
Really didn't look like he was straight up, and the boo birds raining down here at Scotiabank Center. And we sit right next to our booth here. Our broadcast area is right next to one of the majority owners,
yep.
Don Mills, and he is not happy.
No, he's not.
He will voice his opinion.
Always very vocal.
On
huge supporter of the team
throughout the game.
Yeah, he lets the refs know how he feels.
He's still saying that's a bad call, and it's a turnover here as Watson tried to hit Poole. Poole unable to make the catch. So a 1-point lead as Braswell went 1 for 2. Highlanders, and that's a good move by Kyle Damaris. And that's the first lead of the afternoon for the Highlanders.
Just like that.
Nice move with that right hand. I'm not sure if he saw that go in, but nevertheless, he was able to battle through the contact and finish. Braswell now. He'll step into the contact, and he'll go back to the free throw line. So some interesting times here.
Definitely.
In this quarter.
Highlanders getting a lot of good play out of their reserves.
And there's not many that they can count on.
No, there's not.
If you look at that bench, and you mentioned it several times, as well as I have. I mean, they've lost some big names with, that can pretty much get it done on both ends of the court. But they're doing it with this shortened bench, and it's pretty impressive right now. But you got to think, like I said, the war of attrition might be setting in right now. The Hurricanes might not have their legs.
Well, they're not looking like it, that's for sure, especially defensively.
So they need to make some adjustments. Timeout on the floor as the kiss cam is in full effect.
He's not getting.
Those
not
two
getting
are
any
definitely
love.
not feeling it.
I hope that's not a brother and
Yeah,
sister or
they
something.
zoomed all the way out of the. Yeah, I think they might be on their first date.
Yeah.
It's always a great atmosphere, family-friendly atmosphere here at Scotiabank Center on a matinee, Sunday matinee. It's another great crowd as we've been having some outstanding crowds lately.
Definitely.
For the three-time defending Atlantic Division champions.
That's right. Fans getting behind the team.
Exactly. And fans, if you're just joining us, we thank you for joining us. Matt Elliott, Vince Williams, and the Silver Vision crew here at Scotiabank Center for Hurricanes basketball. Canes getting it done on the road last evening, knocking off the Riptide at Harbor Station to capture that Atlantic Division championship. Their third. The team's only been in existence 3 years, and it's been all winning since the opening tip-off in year number 1.
Yeah, Halifax has been spoiled by success so far.
Braswell misses both. 1 point deficit for the Canes, just over 6 remaining in the second. Brown kicked out the Poole. Poole hesitation, teardrop.
Nice floater.
And that's a good floating shot there as he was able to get it to go. As he passed up the 3-ball, Poole did. And Poole's on the board with 2. Braswell, left hand, finish. So Demarius and Braswell giving some quality minutes for the Highlanders.
Yeah, Braswell can score. Oh, he's averaging 13. He's one of the newer members. Oh.
And a collision.
Oh, and a travel.
After a traveling violation called on Watson.
He seems confused. I am too. I don't know if we're going to see a replay of that, but it didn't look like a travel so much as it looked like he got hit. But let's just see the replay here. I don't think he had the ball. Interesting. Antoine Mason back in the game.
Mason checking back. Braswell kicked out the Story for 3.
Jeez,
that's
that had a lot
no
of
good. Poole now back the other way. Poole, right hand, tips no good. Watson picks up the rebound and third opportunity here on this possession. Mason calling for a screen. Decides not. Gives it to Poole. Dribble hand off to Rouse. Rouse back to Poole for 3. Good.
Nice shot.
Poole knocks down the 3 this time after passing it up on the previous possession.
Yeah, he got rid of that quick.
Caught it in rhythm, but it was a good decision with the dribble handoff by Brian Rouse to draw the double team. Braswell thought about it. Hesitation. Brown rejects it. Almost knocked it off of Braswell. And a great defensive play would have turned into a terrific defensive play.
Yeah. Good block by Brown.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Story puts it up and forced a fadeaway. Demarius with the rebound.
Undersized, but he's playing pretty good in the paint as Demarius so far.
As he outdueled Rouse there, and Demarius has 4 now. I'm not sure what he was told before this game, but in regards to minutes between him and the head coach, as Beatty able to finish at the rim. But he is given some quality minutes off the bench, showing that maybe he does belong. Because, like I said, he was absent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the first time we've seen him actually play.
And some confusion between the decision which way the ball should go, and its last touch by the Hurricanes.
Coach Spahn was pretty vocal there.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick conference between Peter Phipps and the crew chief, Paul Hansen. Decision made. Cape Breton Highlanders possession. 2-point lead for the Highlanders. Just over, or just under 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Beatty, he'll put it up. That's short, rebound by Poole.
He's been quiet offensively, but if he gets on, that's another thing Halifax has got to worry about.
Mason, the Watson, and the jumper is good.
He has been working that.
Yes, he's been taking it with confidence, and he's just been catching it and shooting it. Now, if you're not going to play me, he says, I'm going to shoot it and I'm going to knock it down. Then when you play me, That's when I got you.
I'm going to eat you up.
I'll get to the rim as
Nice finish by Massey.
Massey Jr. gets to the rim, and he's got 19 now.
I'm surprised Halifax isn't playing a little bit more of a higher tempo game, given the biggest advantage right now is literally bodies. They've got more guys to go through.
Mason splits the defense and finishes with the right hand. Very impressive move as Mason was able to toggle his way through the defense and finish with the finger roll. Braswell.
Oh, great defense.
Turnover. 3-on-1, back the other way. Poole, two-handed slamma-jamma.
Nice.
Rattled it home, but nevertheless, he did finish as Mike Poole.
Hey, he got up, he put it in. Great defense and a nice assist by Tyrone Watson.
It's a 2-point lead back for the Hurricanes. Braswell for 3.
3, and then he looks back at the Halifax bench.
Mentioned that in that first quarter, Braswell can shoot the 3 ball as he lured Brown all the way out to that beyond the arc, and he knocked it down. Poole, pull up.
That looked
count
really
it. Mike Poole starting to heat up now and turn on the offense is Mike Poole. Poole's got 9.
I know he doesn't have their highest percentages, but he certainly has the nicest looking jump shot.
Poole with the bounce pass, and he's fouled from behind by Tydron. Jamal Reynolds will check in.
Should be Beatty's second so far.
Team's third. Poole inbound. 1-point lead, 53-52, 1:57 remaining in the second quarter. Mason looking for a screen. Mason, Braswell. Mason says, I got you.
He's put that down to a science.
I mean, that particular play on that side of the court has been open for Mason. He likes to go from right to left and finish with the right hand at the rim. You're either going to block his shot, or he's going to draw the foul, or finish. So there's a combination of bad scenarios that will happen if Mason can get in that painted area.
Yeah, and he's become a master of hitting that off-balance, kind of leaner, up in the air. Even if you body him up, you play good defense on him, he's still got a pretty good chance he's going to score on him.
He's just too strong, able to fight through contact and have enough concentration and finish. Jim Reynolds, right hand, and that was so electric by Reynolds as he just put his head down, dribbled right, and was able to get it up and over Tyrone Watson.
Yeah, it was right there.
We're back to a 1-point game. Brown, that's rejected by Braswell. Highlanders have numbers in transition.
Whoa.
Reynolds can't finish. Contact between him and Rouse, looking for a foul, that is. None coming. Possession will still remain to the Highlanders. No, absolutely not, as he saw Reynolds hit the deck.
Yeah, and you know what? My unbiased perspective, it looked like a foul to me, but it didn't get called, so I'm not a ref. Let's just see if you see on the replay here. He looked like he got a bit of body there, but regardless, they'll hold on to the ball, see what they can do.
The officials allowing these two teams to play. Not a lot of fouls being called.
No, you're right.
Story, that's no good. Rebound by Watson. Under a minute now remaining in the first. Hurricanes by 1. Canes had as large as a lead of 11, but that was quickly evaporated by the Highlanders. And at one point, they took the lead. Second chance opportunity coming up. Watson, he draws a contact on Braswell, and that's what you get from Watson. He knew he had the bigger man in the paint. Good pump fake, waited for Braswell to get up in the air. That's when he had advantage time.
That's right, and that's that veteran basketball, that high IQ coming out, earning those points. It was a nifty little pass, too, from Mike Poole, a bit of a no-look.
So Braswell picks up his first personal. Watson knocks down the first of 2. Watson on the season, he's a 77% free throw shooter. And he goes 1 for 2 in this trip. Reynolds gets away from the double team, kick out to Story. Story drives, and he almost gets the N1 to go. Quick move there by Reynolds to get away from the double team. Almost ran into a traveling violation or a charge. But that seems to be his game.
He's speedy.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
When he catches the ball, Story will go to the line to shoot two.
Who do they call that on? I missed it. I think they called it
That's
Tyrone.
on Mason. That's his first.
That was on Mason, okay.
Team's fourth. Story hits the first. Malik's first trip to the charity stripe this afternoon. And he makes a second, and Malik's got 7.
All tied up.
Difference of 4 seconds on the game clock and shot clock. Dixon playing with 3 fouls. Gives it to Mason. Poole now puts it up for 3. Poole, bang! Mike Poole has been outstanding, and Poole's got 12. As Poole's 2 for 4 from long distance, and that's errant shot there by Bruce Massey Jr.
He had at least 3 seconds left to do something different than that.
Looked like he might have got pushed. Was looking for a foul call.
No.
But that wasn't coming.
I think the no call was the right call. You gonna get the ball back or?
Bounced off. I think they're trying to set the game clock here to
Oh,
1.3. Gotcha. Give a little bit more time for the Hurricanes to go to work here. It's still not a lot of work. 1.3 or 7 seconds, whichever it is not a lot of time to catch it and shoot it.
No,
but
especially
you
from the
can
other
do.
end.
But it is possible on a long inbound pass and a catch and a turnaround all in one motion. You can definitely get it off. Now with accuracy, that remains to be seen.
Still a little bit of confusion here.
So 3-point game for the Hurricanes, 59-56. Trying to get the game clock corrected here.
1.6,
so it's 1.6 they're shouting, but I'm not sure we can get 1.6 on the clock. Interesting.
Bruce Massey arguing with the ref.
Massey wanted a foul, thought he got hit in the head.
Now he's hearing it from Jim Mills now.
Conversations always ensue. I mean, this is the thing that happens. A turnover. Reynolds almost got it, and that'll do it. So after the confusion for about 2 minutes, Bruce Massey still upset.
Still, yeah.
Not in agreement with what transpired at the end of that quarter. But the Hurricanes lead by 3, 59-56, Matt.
Yeah, they go into this one, which is what they wanted, with a lead of 59-56. It looked a little sketchy there at some point. Cape Breton was able to claw and get it back into the game and, in fact, take a lead. So Halifax, you got to think at this point they're happy to be going in, even if it's just a 3-point lead, but they're still on top right now.
So Mike Poole, the high man for the Hurricanes, with 12 points, and Bruce Massey Jr. with 19. So fans, we're going to step aside here, but stay with us. You're watching the Halifax Hurricanes basketball on the Halifax Hurricanes YouTube channel. Welcome back to Scotiabank Center for Halifax Hurricanes basketball. The Hurricanes lead after 24 minutes, 58-56. So a correction in Mike Poole's shot there was a 2 and not a 3. Vince Williams alongside of Matt Elliott here for Canes basketball on their YouTube channel. Hurricanes come into this matchup. Fans, if you're joining us for the first time or you just rejoin us, just to recap of what happened in the first 24 minutes. Hurricanes had an outstanding first quarter. The second quarter was ebb and flow. Both teams had their moments, and here we are. It's a 2-point deficit for the Highlanders.
Yeah, and really, I mean, kind of a tale of two quarters. First quarter was Halifax. The second quarter belonged to Cape Breton. If you look at the stats, right down the line, they're almost, they're razor-thin margins between the two teams, with the exception of assists. Halifax has 19 to Cape Breton's 8, but there wasn't a whole lot of guys like you saw Klingscales put the shot there. He didn't get a whole lot of run in that first half, so I'll see if Coach Leslie leaves him out. Halifax can carry on that little bit of momentum they had.
Not many minutes in the second quarter for Klingscales after he was able to knock down back-to-back threes in the first quarter and get that three-ball stroke going. Knotted up now at 58 apiece. The Hurricanes had their largest lead of 11 in that second quarter, but that was quickly erased as Beatty knocks down the 3.
There's a rare bad pass by Klingscales too.
Correction, had the largest lead of 12, and that was around the 10-21 mark of the second quarter. So 2-point lead. 3-point lead, for the Highlanders. And last touch by Braswell. 6 seconds on the shot clock. 10:41 remaining in the third. Hurricanes trying to win the remaining games on the schedule to put them in position to go first overall in the National Basketball League of Canada. And if you're unaware, the Hurricanes were able to wrap up the Atlantic Division last evening, defeating the St. John Riptide 90-82 at Harbor Station.
So they'll have guaranteed themselves home court at least for the conference championships, but for the league itself, they want to have it throughout. Like you said, they've got to win these next few games here and clinch the league overall.
Klingscales trying to beat the shot clock. Does, and couldn't get it to go. And back the other way as Malik Story had positioning on Klingscales, and Klingscales is called for the personal.
A bit of a reach.
That's first, team's first. Early going here in the third. Good crowd on hand here at Scotiabank Center on a Sunday afternoon. Kind of windy outside, but nevertheless, spring is on its way. As the playoffs is always Massey Jr. knocks down a terrific fadeaway jumper.
He's a story for them so far.
Wow, and the sign of spring is always the playoffs, and the playoffs will get underway in the National Basketball League of Canada on the 5th of April. Jump shot's no good there by Watson. Rebound by White.
Oh, what a pass.
Mason with the right hand and finish. The turnover. Back the other way. 3-point lead. 9:41 remaining in the third. Klingscales to Watson, and Watson gets it in tight, but I think he's fouled there, and he is.
Before the shot.
So the foul's on Antonio Bigelow. Team second. Team foul number 2 in this quarter. As Klingscales will inbound the Brown to Mason. Mason
nice
to
pass.
Brown, and Brown
Did he ever
with the
thread the
two-handed
needle?
flush.
I have a feeling that one's going to end up in a highlight package.
Quite possible. Quite possible, you never know. Massey Jr. trying to end up in a highlight package as well. Jumper's no good. Mason in transition. And
nice finish.
Forget it. When Mason gets a full head of steam out in the open floor, it doesn't matter how many defenders are in front of him, he will get it done.
Yep.
9 times out of 10, and I may be wrong 9 times out of 10, and maybe 10 out of 10. Story, jumper, drains it. And it's a 1-point lead, 65-64. 8:38 remaining in the third. Clink scales to White.
Oh,
Clink
wow.
scales behind the back to Brown. Brown can't put the reversal away.
I don't think he expected to get that pass.
Braswell comes up with the rebound.
That looked
Massey
like it went off
Jr.
Massey.
It's going the other way. So I'm going to step aside. Matt Elliott's going to do the play-by-play.
All
and
right.
The commissioner is going to come in for a 5 to have a quick chat with Matt. And they'll talk about everything NBLC as well as basketball.
All right, as we wait for the commish.
What's happening, man?
How you doing, Audley?
I'm all right, man.
Welcome, welcome.
It's always good to be in
Welcome to the
Halifax.
feed.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. You having a good time?
You know what? It's been a great weekend. I was in St. John last night. A big part of why I'm in town. We do some recognition of some dedicated people.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's good.
And some great action too.
That's great. See Braswell bodying up Ramel Brown. Nice finish underneath by Braswell. Tough D by Brown.
Yeah, you saw the Halifax Hurricanes come up to a slow start. Certainly last night, and they came back, and we're seeing a similar thing today. And I don't know, comeback is a way, the coach and staff, Mike Leslie, want to see things go, but they're holding their own now here in the second half.
Well, for sure. I mean, Halifax started off with a really good first quarter, as me and Vince were discussing. The second quarter really belonged to Cape Breton. They outscored them. They looked better. Halifax was able to go in with a lead. But overall, in that second quarter, it belonged to Cape Breton. So we'll see if Halifax now can run away with this game. Nice finish by Billy White.
With the
alley-oop from Antoine Mason.
We're used to seeing one of those a game. Usually it's Clink that's throwing off.
Exactly,
I think Mason's been watching, taking a page out of Clink's notebook there.
That's right. Well, he's had 2 of those today so far, and neither one has came from Cliff Clinkscales.
It's viral, I tell you, Matt. It's viral.
Massey with the shot. That's short. Billy grabs it, gives it to Clink. He'll push it up court. Watson called for it. He won't get it. Looks like we got a moving screen called on Rommel Brown to see Massey hit the floor and hit it hard.
He did.
Halifax go back. Looks like Ronaldo Dixon's going to check in. Let's see who's checking out. Rommel Brown will have a seat. Rommel Brown's been a great addition to Halifax this season.
Space eater up down low.
He's a monster.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep. He's been one of my favorite players to watch, to see him develop, because he really wasn't getting a lot of minutes at the beginning of the year.
Right.
But he's now a starter, and he's really making best of those minutes that he's getting. Braswell working on Dixon. Nice defense by Dixon, and another nice finish by Braswell, and he headbutts it, and he gets called.
What did the ball do to him?
I don't know. He's playing volleyball, or soccer, I should say.
Soccer.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
I've never seen that before.
No.
But,
so Braswell scored 2 straight over the University of Carolina at Charlotte. It's a D1 team, the Atlantic 10 Conference. Uh-oh.
Yep, a little bobble action there.
Yeah, Halifax escaped there. Clinkscales now. He'll drive it into the key. And looks like Ronaldo Dixon's going to get called for an off-ball foul.
Looks like he was fighting with Antonio Bigelow. And trying to get some space and taking advantage of the mismatch. Sometimes you can be really eager to take advantage of those mismatches.
That's
to the point where you use too much body and create space.
That's right. So we've got a timeout on the floor right now. So while we got some time there, Mr. Commish, why don't you talk about your travels the last few days, where you've been, what you've been doing, the kind of stuff you've been doing. I saw, you handed out the plaques to the people with some 5 years of service. So I'll let you take over and speak about that a bit.
You know what? That's a real big deal for our league. We're in year number 7, and we didn't get here by ourselves. We've got a lot of dedicated and committed people that probably don't get recognized or get the shine that they should for the job that they're doing. As a guy myself who's been with the league since day one, a lot of the people who we recognize here at center court, they were they were volunteers with me in year one, and
Yep.
some are still here doing the same thing they were doing, or
Yep.
sometimes a lot more. So, it's really about recognition and appreciation, and that's where we as a league felt it was important to take this time and dedicate some time to say, hey, look, thank you. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed.
Right on.
And it's important that we take a moment and say thank you. So
definitely,
that was really the main piece of that. I was in St. John last night. We did a very similar thing. Halifax today. I've got at least 3 or 4 other stops that we plan on doing across the league. We easily could just sort of send out a note and say thank you. But I think the personal touch is far more effective.
Definitely, and that's the kind of thing that gets people coming back, that gets people wanting to volunteer, because leagues like this are really run, like volunteers are what make up a lot of this league, because it's not the NBA, it's not the G League where there's a lot more money floating around, so you got to rely on people that want to give their time, and I think it's a great thing to honor those guys. Vince being one of those guys.
V-Dub, he's over there. Right?
Vinny the Voice.
He's been grinding for a minute, but and here's the thing, right? We're recognizing people with 5-year awards.
Yeah.
There are people that have been here since day one, year number 7.
Definitely, that's right.
In 3 more years, we got to do 10-year awards, and I bet you'll be those plus a few more up there. Who knows?
For sure. Yeah.
So, yeah, I've always felt it was an important thing, and glad, quite honestly, I'm glad this is something that I'd be able to be a part of kind of on my watch.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great thing, and it's good, and it's, the kind of thing that's going to keep the league going strong for years to come, which is what I hope, because it's great basketball.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no question about that. Look at the score, 70-69 for the Hurricanes, and, we're talking about 2 teams, one's supposed to be, out of it, and the other ones, they're looking to the playoffs and beyond, right?
Well, that's right. Yeah, Vince, we're talking about that. Halifax is looking to clinch the first overall in the league. They can do that
sure.
to get the playoffs, the home playoff throughout. Cape Breton, really nothing to play for except pride at this point, and you know what? They're playing good basketball with a short bench.
You wouldn't know that looking at the score and way they're playing that. They're playing for pride.
That's right.
Or they got nothing to play for, rather.
Yep.
They're playing like they want to win this game.
That's right. And just got handed the piece of paper. Got a crowd of just over 2,800 on hand today in Halifax. Another good crowd. Halifax really been seeing good numbers. See Tydron Beatty going to work on Dixon.
Wow. Great strong move down low. 2,800 of your closest friends, Matt. Not bad.
At least 2,800.
Got family and friends.
Being the unofficial mayor of Halifax, like I am.
There you go.
See Watson underneath. Can't get it to go. Wow. Billy with a tip in.
Billy on the offensive board, he's something else. Hard
he's
to stop
been great.
down,
Yeah, I believe that gets him to a double-double for the game. It's good.
Ho hum.
Yet another for Billy. Yeah, 14 and 11 for him, so he was already there. Tydron Beatty, listen, that guy can score. If he gets going, look out.
Yeah, I think, I've always thought Tydron Beatty's game is far more effective down low as opposed to on the perimeter trying to
I agree with you.
Shoot shots. And
yep. He's a good physical player, and he plays good physical defense.
Yeah. And when he gets out on that open floor, watch out.
That's right. No, he's a good
player.
player.
Finisher, long, athletic.
One of the fun players to watch these last few years. Clinkscales, dish into Watson, back to Clinkscales, and he'll put it to Billy. Billy puts up a 3. No good. 3-pointers typically not Billy White's game. He did hit a couple early on this one, but that one doesn't go.
He's trying to keep the defense honest.
That's right. Yeah, got to open them up. Bruce Massey with the shot, lost the handle. Billy brings it up. He'll dish to Clinkscales. Billy to Watson. Watson with the finish. Halifax 74-73 with the lead.
Man, guys are just hanging around.
They are, yeah. They will not go away as Bigelow brings it up. Gives it to Braswell. Braswell back into Beatty. They're going to see if he can go to work on Dixon. He's had some success these last few times. No good there. Dixon did a good job closing out, getting a hand in his face. Clinkscales to Watson. Looks like he took a shot.
He did. No, I was just talking about Tydron breathing perimeter shot. I actually didn't have a problem with that shot because he opened up his game a little bit with those 2 buckets down low. That's what I like to see out of Tydron.
Yeah, you can't be predictable. Watson now, he's going to get hacked. Looks like they're going to call Braswell for that. Let's just see.
Well, slap down low on the way to the basket.
Mike Poole checking in. You see the replay there. White kicks it to Watson. He comes in. Oh, looks like Bigelow is going to get the call for that foul. Team foul number 4. That's 4 fouls on Bigelow. He's going to check out. Demarais Apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Checks back in. He's had a pretty good game off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, again, a short bench. Everyone's got to produce, and you're seeing that today.
That's right. Watson misses the first.
Did we get the flex cam going? Did we see that?
We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
No.
I know that's Vince's favorite.
that's one of my faves too.
Yeah.
We had the kiss cam. So far, just a kiss cam. No flex cam or Mike Leslie dance cam.
Oh yeah,
that's another classic.
That's another one.
Might be saving that one for the playoffs.
We've been seeing a flurry of coaches getting doused with water and ice and all. Mike Leslie, if he's not careful, he
Those
might
threads?
Hey.
He should be wearing a poncho.
I think so. I'll put a garbage bag over his head there.
I said it before and I'll say it again.
Himself.
Mike Leslie's probably the best dressed coach in the league.
Well, he's styling today. That's no question
man.
about that. He's styling today.
Damaris brings it up. Kicks it to Massey. Nice drive. He got a step on Clinkscales and was able to get a free pass to the basket there.
There we go. Tie game, 2:56. Man.
Massey's having a game. Clinkscales. Looking for Watson underneath. Massey on Watson. Beatty with the help. Back to Clinkscales. Not a lot of movement from help. Oh my goodness, what a move. Can he finish?
The hesitation.
My goodness. And he has that hesitation down to a science, but did he ever undress a defender on that?
Woo. The
Malik
rainbow
Story,
three.
though I've never seen someone with so much arc on his shots, but he hits that one. Clinkscales brings it back down. Going to take a three of his own. No good. Oh, Watson able to swat that one from Tydron Beatty. Coach Spahn wants the over the back. Not going to get it. Clinkscales over to Poole.
Here's another guy
stops
with
and pops.
Lethal jumper, Mr.
He's
Mike
got a
Poole.
great looking shot.
When he's on a roll, folks.
That's right.
Mike Poole is deadly.
Yep, said it before and I'll say it again. His numbers haven't been the greatest, but man, oh man, his shot is pretty.
No, he's a guy that I still give the ball to when it counted.
Oh yeah.
I need that shot. I'm looking at Mike.
I like his game. He's a good defender. Story with another three.
Story's
rattles in and out.
He's got a lot in him. He's not done yet. That's the story.
Clinkscales bringing it up. Goes to his right. Kicks it out to Watson for that jumper. He's been pretty good so far in this game with the jumper. Misses that one, though.
Here we go.
Demary brings it up. Massey wide open for the jumper.
Like, why not? I'm not sure that's exactly how it was diagrammed, but I think they'll take it.
That one didn't come out of the playbook, but it's 2 points, none the same. He's been hot, has Bruce Massey Jr. carrying the mailbag for them today. That's either 20.
That is.
I think that's 25 for him. Hit my refresh.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Mike Poole scoring a three. Tydron Beatty bringing it up court now. Watson draws that defensive assignment. Braswell, he's going to go to work now. Oh,
backdoor cut.
Nice backdoor cut. Got away from Mason to Demary, but Watson was able to get a hand up and deflect it. Taquan Zimmerman going to check in now.
Guess what?
So Clinkscale's going to come out.
Taquan just hit his 100th three-pointer last night, I believe.
Yeah, he's been great all season.
Man.
He's been Halifax's best three-point shooter this season. Theon Reefer checking in as well for Tyrone Watson. He'll take a seat. And for the Highlanders, looks like they're going to check in
Mr. Cordell Janty. Mr. I played in every season.
That's right. That's what I was saying.
He's been existing.
Should be getting along, so you should be giving him a plaque, too.
Man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm big enough for him.
The NBL Canada Long Service Award. Massey will push it out. He'll take it to the top.
I hope he doesn't hear you say that, man. He's going to come at me.
From way downtown.
Why not?
Oh, my goodness.
Why
Massey
not,
is
Mr. Massey?
feeling it. 83-82 with that shot. The Highlanders take the lead. Bruce Massey is playing a game and a half today. Mike Poole now with the ball. Dribbling out, guarded by Malik Story. Stops and pops for a three of his own.
Why
it
not?
is good.
We're seeing a great shooting display this
We
afternoon.
sure are.
And we're talking about defended shots, hands in your face.
Yeah.
We're popping it regardless.
A little bit of a clinic, back and forth. Mike Poole says, anything you can do, I can do better. Oh, Janty, excuse me. Tydron Beatty with some very nice handles, but lost it at the last minute there, guarded by Theon Reefer. It's going to be Halifax ball.
All right, so defensive stop with the last 8.6 seconds left here.
Mike Poole will bring it up court. And loses a handle and gets nothing from it. So just like that, that's the end of the third quarter. Halifax goes into the fourth quarter with an 85-83 lead.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Hey,
good game of basketball.
Hey, listen, we're gonna see a great final quarter here. There's no doubt about that. Matt, thanks for letting me take up time here.
Anytime.
Man.
Anytime.
It's great. You guys doing a great job as always.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And let's see what happens in the fourth quarter.
Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. Commissioner Audley Stevenson. All right, folks, so as I said, 85-83. Halifax going into this one with a lead. However, razor thin. Cape Breton Highlanders playing great basketball on the back of Bruce Massey Jr.'s 25 points, 10 of 17 from the field. He has been on fire. Welcome back, Vince.
Yeah. So, back and forth matchup in that third. I mean, both teams taking shots at each other.
Yeah.
Bruce Massey was outstanding. Malik Story hit some big shots. Clint Scales had to be good as well, along with Mike Poole. That was pretty impressive.
And so far, we've seen 43 three-pointers this game. That may be the most we've seen in a game.
It's a lot of
At
threes.
least up to this point, Vince. 7 of 19 are the Cape Breton Highlanders for a 37% clip. Halifax 7 of 24, just below 30%. However, Halifax from the field goal percentage shooting at 52, and Cape Breton at 50. So both teams shooting relatively well, playing, and as I said before, the stats are almost identical if you look with the exception of assists.
Yeah, pretty even across the board here as the Highlanders definitely rebounded from that first quarter.
They did.
As they stepped up their game, and they pretty much have nothing to lose here. Coming into Halifax, trying to play spoiler as they have one more contest against the Hurricanes. The last remaining game of the season will be played at Center 200 between these two teams, where Halifax will either have an opportunity to be the #1 team in the NBLC, or they probably won't. It all depends on what happens on the other two games in between. And to speak about the other two games in between, there's some other games out of town in the out-of-town scoreboard. The out-of-town scoreboard around the National Basketball League of Canada before we start the fourth is brought to you by Steel Auto Group.
All right, in PEI, the Island Storm have a 61-53 lead over the St. John Riptide with 6:31 left to go in the third quarter. The first quarter just about to come to an end in Windsor as the Windsor Express hosts the London Lightning. London's got a 21-17 lead. And, of course, the game you're watching right now with that shot makes it 85-85. Halifax Cape Breton at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Bruce Massey knocking down another jump shot. Massey's been lights out, and he has definitely stepped up in the absence of other players that are still not available for Cape Breton. 25 points thus far for Massey. He's 10 for 17 from the field, 3 for 5 from downtown, and he draws the contact on Poole, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
I think it's actually 27. Our stat guys are saying that their computer crashed, so they're doing it manually right now.
Hand.
Some of these.
Now we got to do it by hand. So Massey's got 27 points. He'll go to the free throw line for the second time this evening. Hard to believe the type of game that he plays, inside, outside game, and he likes to get to the rim and likes to, get the defender in the air, that it's only the second time he's going to the free throw line.
That's right, yeah. And he's been all over the court today, taking some great shots. He's been fun to watch. Maybe not so much if you're a diehard Hurricanes fan, because he's been a killer right now. But as a fan of basketball in general, it has been fun.
Massey's hits both, and he's got 29 now. He's the high man.
Oh, Theon Reefer tried to squeeze it through.
Yeah, backdoor cut was there between Billy and Reefer. It would have been a pretty outstanding pass, though, if it was able to complete that one. But nevertheless, an opportunity here to increase the lead of the Highlanders. 2-point game. Story for 3. That misses everything. John T, though, saves it on the baseline, and they came almost right into our front lap.
Sure did.
In our broadcast area as Demarius and Zimmerman try to save that one from going out of bounds.
Demarius. You're pronouncing that better than I was when you were gone there, Vince. I was struggling with it.
And I'm not even sure if it's correct, but
I'm looking at the spelling. It looks all right.
Zimmerman, and it looks like a moving screen will be called on Billy White. And that's on Billy. Billy's third, team second of the quarter. Canes trailing by 2, 87-85, 10:45 remaining in regulation. Massey Jr. Story off a screen. He draws a contact on Reefer. And Malik will go to the line to shoot 2. Story making his second trip to the free throw line. 4 for 12 from the field. He's got 12 points thus far. He's 2 for 6 from beyond the arc.
Hasn't been the most efficient day for him, but he's been a presence nonetheless, like you said, with 12 points. He got 5 rebounds and 4 assists, so he's filling the sheet.
He misses the first, and he misses both. Story, 74% free throw shooter on the season. Can't increase the lead any further than 2. Mason inside the White and 1.
Nice finish.
Wow, that was outstanding. Billy White and Antoine Mason on the back door. White just elevated over top of John T, and John T's called for the foul.
Look at that. And you know what? If I'm a coach watching this game from another team that I might, a team that might be facing Halifax in the playoffs, I got to be scared from that. Used to seeing the two-man game coming from Cliff Clinkscales and Billy White. Now you got to worry about it come from Antoine Mason and Billy White, because that's the third time they've hooked up for an alley-oop or something of that sort so far in this game.
And Billy with the three-point play, and he completes it with the free throw. So White has 17 now. Reynolds, dribble hand off to Massey Jr. Massey Jr., that's a tough dagger, and he knocks it down. He's got 31. Massey 11 for 18 from the field, and the bulk of those shots, Matt, have been contested.
Yeah, contested, off balance, someone in his face. I mean, he's really playing a heck of a game.
And Reefer gets to the rim and draws the foul on Reynolds. Reefer will go to the line to shoot 2. That's Theon's first opportunity at the charity stripe this evening. Theon shoots the free throws at 65% on the season. And he bounces in the first. Back and forth we go.
Yep.
In this fourth quarter, we've had that since probably the midway of the second. And Reefer knocks down both. So Reefer picks up his first 2 points of the afternoon. It's 2-point lead for the Hurricanes. Multiple lead changes and multiple leads being captured by both of these teams.
Been back and forth.
Beatty, that's nice, a tough shot there. Reefer. Put back is good by John T on that miss. And this game might come down to the last possession.
Yep. Beatty's going to get teed up. He was yelling at the ref.
Tydra not happy about a non-foul call on this end on the previous possession.
Of all the calls or non-calls I've seen, that's not the one I would get teed up for. Reefer looked like he played pretty straight-up defense on that one to me.
As Tydron will go to the bench now, and Chris Braswell will check in. Zimmerman knocks down the first, the technical, and the possession will stay with the Hurricanes. Canes trailing by 1, 9:29 remaining in the fourth. Poole inbound to Mason. Mason crosses the timeline, closely guarded by Massey Jr. Spin move, draws a double team, backdoor to White, and it looks like his last touch by White, but a good hand in the passing lane there on that lob by Chris Braswell.
Yeah, he's been playing a good game as Braswell. You see that mismatch between Braswell and Poole is what he's looking for.
Trying to get that inside. White on the help line, waiting just in case he needs it, and that shot is blocked.
Nice D by Poole.
And Poole's called for the foul.
Oh my goodness.
So that's an interesting call there by
I'd say so.
Peter Phipps.
to see if we can see a replay of that, because I certainly didn't see it from where I was here, but he's going to hear it now from Jim Mills and Don Mills. Now we're not seeing a replay of it here.
So Braswell shooting 2. He bounces in the first.
It should be 15 for him.
Chris's third opportunity at free throws, and he makes both. So Braswell has 16 now.
Reefer puts one up.
Reefer, no good.
Oh.
Loses the handle there. Last touch by the Hurricanes. So Canes couldn't come up with that 50-50 ball.
It was a little bit sloppy of a sequence there.
2-point game. Highlanders lead. Highlanders averaging 106 points a game on the season. So they can put it up.
They sure can, yeah.
Gentil.
Oh, good fight by Reefer.
Reefer in transition, count it. Theon on the dead run was able to out-race and win the foot race, that is, against Massey Jr. and finish at the rim through the contact.
A great hustle play for him. You see the replay there, that finish and the harm. Good job of chasing that one down. Someone in his back pocket pretty much the whole way. His hip pocket, if you will.
And Reefer completes the 3-point play. So Theon has 5 now. And checking back in for Cape Breton is Antonio Biglow. And it looks like along with Jamal Reynolds. Reynolds now to Biglow. Braswell trying to go to work on Poole. That's deflected and
Great
turned
help.
over. So good hand in the passing lane by Billy White forces the turnover. As Braswell try to back down Mike Poole in consecutive possessions.
They've been looking for that. It's kind of a size mismatch. I can't blame them, but Mike Poole's been playing it well and just getting some good help from Billy White, and they've been unsuccessful both times.
Tydron checks in for Gentil for the Highlanders. 1-point game. Canes lead 94-93. Billy going to work on Braswell. Kicked out to Zimmerman. Good look for downtown. Bang! And he connects from beyond the arc. That was a good half-court set, but Billy White doing a good job of drawing the double team and shielding the defender of Zimmerman. Zimmerman stepped into that 3-ball in rhythm, and he made no mistake knocking it down. Massey Jr. looking for a foul from beyond the arc. Didn't get the call. Zimmerman, he'll put it right back up for 3.
Oh,
down.
Wow. Nice.
And the dagger back to back. Man, this guy can shoot it from beyond the arc. Taquan Zimmerman, the only second man to do it in league history, put up more than 100 threes, assists, and rebounds as a reserve. And you have a guy like Taquan Zimmerman coming off the bench being that good. You got to be happy if you're head coach Mike Leslie, knowing that you can rely on this guy night in, night out.
Yeah, and that's just it. You said the key word right there is rely. He's been reliable, he's been consistent, and if you're going to hit 100 threes off the bench and get those kind of numbers off the bench, as a coach you're happy, and as an opposing coach that gives you nightmares, because the guy that's coming off the bench with fresh legs is a guy that could be starting for any team in this league.
And Zimmerman's got 6 points now, hitting those back-to-back threes, and forces a timeout call by head coach Rob Spahn and the Highlanders as they want to talk it over. And it's a 6-point lead, but a 6-point lead at this juncture of the game seems like a lot of points by the way this game has been going back and forth, and the way these teams have been trading baskets and trading lead changes.
Yeah, it could dissolve pretty quickly. 6 points is nothing, especially with, like we said, Cape Breton's got some scores. They've got guys that come down, Bruce Massey especially. If he hits a hot streak, 6 points is nothing. That'll evaporate in no time.
2 possessions to be exact, so back-to-back threes with a stop in between will tie this one right back up. So after final instructions, both teams take to the floor. Canes come back with the same lineup that they finished before the timeout, and that's White, Zimmerman, Mason, Reefer, and Poole. For the Highlanders, it's Braswell, Story, Beatty, Bigelow, and Massey Jr. Bigelow will inbound. 7:22 remaining in regulation. Bigelow crosses the timeline. Zimmerman's guarding him. Massey Jr. now. Looking for a screen. Uses it. Dribbles inside the paint, but he turns it over. Not sure if that was the good decision there. It looks like Tydron wasn't even looking for that pass, but he might have got forced there, Massey Jr., to do something with it after the double team was there. Zimmerman for 3, bang, and count it, Zimmerman. Again, that's 3 straight daggers from beyond the arc. Taquan Zimmerman has officially taken over this game to this point.
Yeah, what do you say? Like, not only did he hit 3 straight, but he's able to get that foul on that one, trying to make this a 4-point play. You're going to get 10 straight points out of one man off the bench in the fourth quarter.
And
he does it.
10-0 run for Taquan Zimmerman has swung the favor into the home team. Lights out shooting. He is absolutely on fire.
That was a weird
Step
shot.
through, no good for Massey Jr. Put back, no good for Braswell. Pull back the other way now. Pull, transition off the glass, no good. Rebound by Massey Jr. Pace starting to quicken now.
Big time.
Massey Jr. at the rim, and that is deflected. They're going to count it.
Wow. I don't know.
As Massey Jr. was able to draw the contact, and he'll go to the line for the N1 now.
Let's see the replay where that came off the rim or not. We put it up. Oh, tough call, but call just the same.
Yeah, not sure if Billy even got a hand on that.
I'm not sure he did either.
Might have whiffed it, but nevertheless, it's an N1 opportunity here for Massey Jr. And he does. He knocks it down. So Massey Jr.'s got 34. Breaking up that 10-0 run by Taquan Zimmerman. Zimmerman on the dribble. Hands it off to Reefer. Poole now. Inside the Reefer going one-on-one against Bigelow, and Reefer gets his own putback there as they found the mismatch and they exploited it. Beatty, no good. Zimmerman with the rebound. 5:56 remaining. It's a 10-point lead, and 10 points seem like a mountain to climb here for either team. Poole inside, good. Mike Poole going one-on-one against Bigelow, and they're trying to exploit that mismatch on the other end with whoever's guarding, Antonio Bigelow is guarding. They're going to go inside. But a nice response, though, by Braswell to break up that run. Zimmerman now thought about it. Back to Zimmerman. Now we got that mismatch again now. Looking for Poole to go one-on-one against Bigelow. Poole trying to back down Bigelow. Spins,
nice D by
gets
Bigelow.
it deflected. And Mason gets the rebound. Mason puts it up. And Poole
just can't get anything
couldn't get the third opportunity to go. So let's see how they sort this one out.
Yeah, interested to see how they make this happen now.
So they're trying to figure it out. The crew chief, John Hansen.
They're calling it a jump ball?
And it looks like this possession arrow will favor the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
That is the right call. If the ball gets stuck between the backboard and the rim, it'll turn over to the possession arrow will take over. So essentially a jump ball. Zimmerman in and out. And that rattled almost down. And Zimmerman had a good look coming off of that screen on the baseline. And Massey Jr. again. deadly. 36 for Massey Jr., and he seems to be hitting those shots really at the same point. He got 39. As Massey Jr. has. 15 for 22 from the field. He's 4 for 6 from downtown. Poole's 3 balls too strong. Massey Jr. back the other way.
Oh,
and he finishes.
Geez, with 41
now.
He's on fire.
Bruce is beyond on fire. He's got 3/4 of the points for the Highlanders. 108-102. Mason over Stories. No good. Beatty with the rebound. Bigelow now. Bigelow hand off to Beatty. And Beatty draws the foul on Reefer. And that'll be foul on him. And it looks like a timeout on the floor is called with 3:59 left. And Ronaldo is ready to check back into this game.
See the replay there. Foul called before the shot. This has probably been one of the better offensive outputs, individual offensive performances we've seen from an away player, but maybe by anyone really so far this season on this court. The way he's shooting and the way he's scoring, making it look so easy. Bruce Massey Jr. really is putting on a clinic here, and he's single-handedly keeping Cape Breton in this one.
Absolutely. Bruce has done an outstanding job shooting the ball, and he's definitely been doing it since the opening tap. Like you said, we mentioned it several times, he is the one weapon that you need to try to neutralize. They have a few other weapons over there, but if it's one guy that's going to probably steal you a game on the road at this point of the season, it's Bruce Massey Jr., number 1, wearing the blue with the red and white stripe down the side of their jersey. So a few other games, though, coming up in the remaining schedule for the Hurricanes. After tonight, they will host on Tuesday evening. It'll be a makeup game between them and the Moncton Magic. The Magic will come in, and then on Thursday, they'll finish up the regular season here at home. Their regular season home games here Thursday night against the Island Storm. Then they'll finish the regular season on the road versus the team in front of them right now trying to defeat them, the Cape Breton Highlanders, and they'll go to war at Center 200. So 3:59 remaining in regulation, 6-point lead for the Hurricanes. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Highlanders on the inbound. Story, spin move. Right hand's no good. Mason did a good job of just staying in front of Story and making it a contested shot, and Story unable to finish. Ronaldo, dribble handoff to Mason. Mason looking to go back to Ronaldo. Mason's got to hurry. Shot clock's under 10. He's got to go to work. And he does, and he is fouled and bailed out there by Massey Jr. as he thought he had the block. As he concedes the foul, but he kind of got him on maybe the forearm or the wrist. And Mason will go to the line to shoot 2.
17 so far tonight has Mason.
Antoine 8 for 11 from the field, and his first trip to the free throw line tonight. As Mason, 76% free throw shooter on the season, and he makes 1 of 2. 109-102.
Getting a little love from Coach Rob
Just over 3 minutes remaining in regulation. Beatty inside the Braswell. Braswell got knocked off kilter, but regathers and finishes with the right hand.
He's got a good post game, this Braswell.
Yeah, quiet night, but an effective night.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 7 for 11 from the field. He's got 16 points, is Braswell. 20, excuse me. Billy White gets it done. He's going to reset this. And Massey Jr. goes for a spill. He got tripped from behind. Braswell, his official numbers are 8 for 13 from the field. He's 3 for 5, 3 for 6 from the free throw line. with 5 rebounds. So 20 points for Braswell, along with Bruce Massey's 41 and counting, have kept the Highlanders in this one.
Certainly has. A better second half from Tydron Beatty as well. He was relatively quiet in the first. He's been able to come on here. He's got 13 points on his own.
Second foul on Zimmerman.
The cleanup going.
Looks like the Hurricanes are over the limit. So the Highlanders will shoot free throws the rest of the way after every foul.
Yep.
Quick cleanup here, and Massey Jr. will shoot too.
I was going to say, while I had the break in the game, I was going to take this time to congratulate Vince for being honored by the NBL Canada tonight. 5 years of service. Behind the mic, Vinny the Voice.
Vinny the Voice. You're chock full of nicknames this afternoon, aren't you?
Yeah.
Wow. He came guns a-blazing with the cliches and the nicknames. 2:48 remaining. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, no. Well deserved, my friend.
Appreciate it. As Massey Jr. hits both, it's a 5-point game now. 2:45 remaining in regulation. Mason dribbles off the knee of Mason as he was able to cross over Story, but it looked like the help that came late might have distracted Mason just a little bit, and it forces the turnover. So an opportunity to get to a one-possession game here for the Highlanders after trailing by as much as 10 in the quarter. Beatty for 3, no good, and the struggles continue in that particular situation. And a 3-ball that looked like it was forced by Braswell.
Yeah.
And lots of time on the shot clock, and Mason will draw the foul the other way, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, I'm not too sure why they looked like it was such a rush to score there. They're only down 5 points, plenty of time to score.
Too much of a hurry there. I'm not sure we saw something, or maybe had a crack of daylight and was feeling it from that distance, but nevertheless, didn't look like a good-looking shot from that distance, as Ronaldo was able to close out and distract him just a little bit, just enough that he missed the shot. So a timeout called on the floor as the Highlanders want to talk things over, trailing by 5 with just over 2 minutes remaining, 2:05 to be exact. A few other games going around the National Basketball League of Canada. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard one more time. The out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by RCS Construction.
All right, Vince, the Island Storm have a commanding 90-69 lead over the St. John Riptide in Prince Edward Island. There's about just under 10 minutes to go left in that game. In Windsor, the London Lightning have taken the lead. They've got a 49-35 lead over the Windsor Express. 2:04 left to go in the first half of that one. And of course, the game you're watching right now, Halifax holds a 111-106 lead with 2:05 left to go in this one.
And the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by RCS Construction. So 2 more home games remaining on the schedule for the Hurricanes. Tuesday night, they'll play the makeup game between them and the Moncton Magic, and then we'll finish out the regular season home game schedule here on Thursday night versus the Island Storm, who are winning big at home at the East Link Center in Charlottetown. Mason hits the first of 2. Plenty of ways to get tickets, fans. Easy, you can email the Hurricanes at info@hurricanes.ca, or you can call when Mason misses the second at 902-377-3052, or simply follow them on their social media handles, halifaxhurricanes.ca, and the Twitter and Instagram, as Billy steps into that one at HFX Hurricanes. That's their Twitter and their Instagram handles. So 6-point lead, under 2 minutes to go. Canes trying to close this one out and stay a step ahead of the London Lightning and the St. John's Edge, who are trying to chase them down for that #1 spot in the NBLC. Bigelow's hitting the head, and let's hope he's okay.
Yeah, looks like he's took a good shot there. It's going to take a knee.
Yeah, Rummel might have caught him with an elbow. That's Rummel's 5th personal.
We'll see a replay of it there.
You can't really see it that well, but it looked like he caught him in the head area if he's holding it. He's taking his time getting to the free throw line.
I don't think anybody wants to take a shot from Rummel Brown.
No, no, not at all. Rummel's a big man. Brown listed at 6'7".
And they're trying to put Massey in as the shooter.
Yeah, the wrong guy. They got to figure this one out here.
They called that one quick. Nice try, but.
Well, they're conferencing.
Yeah.
Let's see if they get it right, and they do. I think they had a little help by the fans here at Scotiabank Center.
Not to mention the players in the key.
As well, and pretty much influenced by the owners as well, who sit courtside of the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
And Bigelow misses the first. He makes the second. As Mike Poole checks in. And Rummel will go to the bench. 112, 107, 129 remaining. Matt Elliott, Vince Williams alongside here at Scotiabank Center for Hurricanes basketball. Canes trying to close this one out after winning the Atlantic Division Championship for the 3rd consecutive year last night on the road. I haven't seen a trophy yet, man. I'm not sure if there's even a trophy awarded to the divisional champion.
I don't know if there is either. Maybe just a banner.
Not even. I don't think there's a banner because there's no banners hanging up above the rafters for either championships in the Atlantic Division. We got one.
True enough.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
From 2015-16 in the inaugural year of the Hurricanes, as they were able to capture the championship in 7 games versus the London Lightning. Rummel checks right back in, so a carousel of substitutions continuing here. As Mason knocks down the first free throw. Mason with another solid stat line this afternoon as he knocks down both. Mason very strong once again in back-to-back games on short rest.
Yep.
He's got 21, 8 for 14 from the field. He's 4 for 6 from the free throw line. Braswell forces that 3 as Rummel was able to close all the way out and contest that shot. So that should pretty much do it here. Barring a catastrophe, this one should be in the books. Win number 26 should be there. Win number 23 in the conference as well. Brown, Clinkscales for 3, no good. Mason wanted that putback.
Did he ever?
Mistimed it though. Story, back the other way. Story, Braswell, tip in, good. 114-109 with 22.9 seconds left. So, I mean, it's a 5-point game now. So, still not.
It's still 2 possessions,
ready,
20 seconds, right?
Not particularly ready yet to turn the lights out.
That's right.
The party's over, but the inbound has to happen. They need to get the inbound in, but the ball does advance from the baseline to the front court. So that's a good thing. There will be some distance there where Cape Breton would have to go if they do get a turnover to score. But they essentially need a steal, a bucket, a steal, and a 3.
Yeah,
but it's overtime.
It's happening basketball for Reggie Miller.
22.9 seconds sometimes is an eternity for a basketball team. But it all depends on how things are going to go. If the opposition is going to make it easy on you.
That's right.
And give you the basketball, not protect the basketball. And I'm thinking, this is the Hurricanes. This is our broadcast. I don't like to be the guy that's going to be the homer type of situation. But they have a lot of veterans over there.
That's right.
That club has a lot of veterans, the team wearing the white and blue.
Yep. A lot of smart basketball players.
You think that they'll secure the basketball, get it inbounds, and this turns into a shooting competition.
Yep.
A free throw shooting competition, and they close this one out.
Yeah, and I would have to agree with you there. There's a high basketball IQ on that bench as well as the coaching staff. So the idea that they're going to commit the kind of mental errors that they would need to commit multiple times to give this game away, I'd be surprised.
Yeah. So the table is set. Here's the opportunity right now. Never say never is the situation. Clinkscales with the inbound. Clinks can't get it in. He just forces it into White, and that was the right decision as he had Bigelow on him.
Yeah, big mismatch.
It was almost close to a 5-second inbound violation on Clinkscales, and at the last moment, the crafty veteran was able to find the other veteran, the two guys that know how to get it done down the stretch because they've been there before, because they hoisted this banner from 2015, the 16 as teammates.
Yeah, King Close making us eat a little bit of crow there, talking about how we didn't think they were going to make they'd be able to get the ball in, but Cape Breton is not giving up easily, not going to let them get away with this one without a fight.
But the Hurricanes need to make the free throws as Mike Poole misses the first.
Yep.
He's got to make the second one to force us into a 2-possession game, and he misses it.
Wow.
So a crack of hope here for the Highlanders. Massey Jr. back the other way. He flushes it.
Goodness.
Massey Jr. making no mistake with that
Get
one.
rid of it.
And that's 114 to 111. He's got sneaky ups, Massey Jr.
Yeah, he got all the way.
If you look at Bruce and you look at his demeanor and his size,
Let's see the
6'3" from Middle Tennessee State, man, he
contested
just
and everything.
Big time as he was able to get it through Billy White, as White came a little late there in transition. And Bruce got hops. Make no mistake about it.
Showed it there.
Zimmerman, though, the right guy to put on the free throw line if you're the Hurricanes.
Yep.
He shoots it at the highest rate at 86% on the season. He is their best free throw shooter, and he knocks down both. Cool, calm, and collected is Taquan Zimmerman. He's got 14 now. 116-111, 5-point lead for the Hurricanes. 6 seconds remaining in this contest. Canes looking to push their record to 26-11 overall, 23-8 in the conference, and a very impressive home record at 14-4.
Great home record.
So they're trying to get this one done, send the fans home happy this Sunday afternoon. Another good crowd, as we mentioned several times, on hand tonight here at Scotiabank Center. 2,800 to be exact.
Yep.
So that's not bad. They've been averaging about above 2,500 a game. At one point when you were away, they had close to 4,000.
Awesome.
Where they had the upper bowl was open, and it's the first time in a long time since I've been doing this. Looking up at the upper bowl and saying, "Wow, it's open. There's fans actually here."
Yeah, that's great.
During the March break.
Yep.
As well. That had a hand as well. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is a great product.
That's right.
There's no mistake about it. We're not just blowing smoke. This is a great product. The whole league is a great product, but this team in particular is a great product.
Definitely.
3 years you've been playing in this league. You've been a champion and a winner from day one. You've won 3 consecutive Atlantic Division championships, where the Atlantic Division has been the toughest division in the last 3 years. You won a championship in your first season, which is pretty much impossible to do at any professional level, at any sport, but you're able to get it done, so the support should be there. Story with the 3, it's no good. Massey with the rebound, and he's looking for the push, but it does not come, that is, as it was contested by both men, Zimmerman and Massey Jr. Now the all-important inbound and the all-important free throws coming up, and you got to think that 86% and counting by Taquan Zimmerman. He's going to ice this one finally.
I would hope so. 5.7 seconds left. He can hit 2 and get this game.
They can do whatever they want with the inbound after he hits both. And he rattles home the first. And just as I could just quickly, finish my thought in regards to the championship, I mean, it's all in front of you, right there. You don't need to know any more, have any more information on what this organization is all about.
Yep.
It's about winning. It's about bringing great family-friendly atmosphere here at Scotiabank Center, and they deliver every afternoon and every night that this team is on this home court.
Yep, and you know what? They've done a good job at bringing back a good core nucleus of players that fans can get behind, that they want to come year in, year out and watch.
Eight to be exact from the championship team.
Yes,
So that'll do it. The Hurricanes push their record to 26-11, 23-8 in the conference as they defeat the Cape Breton Highlanders 118 to 111. So last thoughts here, Matt, on this one.
Just an overall good game. It was a good finish by Halifax, and it was the finish that they needed, having a really shaky second and third quarter in the middle of the game. I don't think they were the team they normally are, but this is what they needed to be, especially as they're moving towards getting that, to the playoffs, being able to close out like they did.
So fans, just to remind you, the next home game will be Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock, where they'll take on the Moncton Magic. So for my broadcast partner, Matt Elliott, I'm Vince Williams, and the rest of the Silver Vision crew saying so long from Halifax. We'll see you Tuesday.
Probably won't be on Tuesday, eh?
No, man. Oh, my God. Why?
Oh, I'm just saying.
What? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I can't be certain.
Glenn works with my dad. He's a handball used to, but he's a sport coach. I love being in the gym. We'll see you down there.
You